Alright guys, Dave Envy here again. The devil himself, Satan, here on earth. Again, another video for my daughter really. My daughter Holly. I'm still here in the house. They haven't locked me up, put me in mental hospital or anything, because I'm speaking the truth about all of this stuff. That's why I just post these videos every week, to try to show people, yeah, you can write your comments that I'm crazy. They put little, my YouTube comments, Holly. They'll say, oh, he's crazy. But why haven't the men in the doctors in white coats come to put me in mental hospital? Because I'm not crazy, I'm speaking a lot of truth. Now, I'm just trying to show you something, Holly. Right. I've put on Google here, mental health section UK, right? And if you're mentally ill, you can have, what happens to you, you can get sectioned, kept in hospital under the Mental Health Act. So there's a thing, a legal thing called a mental health section, to get sectioned if you're mentally ill. If you're mentally ill, right, they can put you in hospital and you're actually locked in that hospital, and you're not allowed to leave till you get better from being mentally ill, right? Yet here I am, Holly, still making my videos, still talking about these things that sound crazy but are actually true. It is true that 4-foot grey aliens that are in space, that live on another planet, they've got spaceships, they've got little flying saucers. They control humanity with psychic powers. That's the truth. And they have done for thousands of years. They've controlled humanity. Well, I think it's thousands of years, a long time anyway. And humanity is a slave species that are actually lizards. We're not evolved from monkeys. We're evolved from lizards. I'm a reptilian, but I'm a different kind of reptilian. I'm a bit special because I'm Satan. I'm a bit different. I'm a reptilian. I'm a lizard, evolved from a lizard. And so are you, Holly. You're obviously my daughter, but I, Satan, and you, my daughter, are different to all these other lizards. We're not as easily controlled, I think, by the psychic powers. Well, I know I'm not, and I don't think you are. As I said in my previous video, Holly, the only thing you need to really focus on is trying to be happy in life. As a little kid, what can you do? There's not a lot you can do. Maybe when you're older, you can send me a letter. You could phone me, but I never actually answer my phone. I get a lot of prank calls. I get, people messing me around. Again, made by the aliens to prank call me. The alien likes to try to bully me with prank calls. They'll get the reptilians. They'll use psychic powers to bully them into ringing me. Just talk rubbish to me. So I don't actually answer my phone to a number that I don't recognise. If my parents ring me, I'll see it's their phone. On the phone, it'll come up as, it's my mum ringing me or something. If it's a number I don't recognise, I don't answer it, and I don't listen to the answer phone message. So if you did ever want to contact me in the future, the best way would be to post me a letter with a phone number on, your phone number, that I can then put into my phone, and I can maybe ring back to ring you. You could post me a letter. So I'm going to put my address on screen. I'm also going to put my phone number on screen, but like I say, I'm not going to answer it if I don't recognise a number, and I'm not going to listen to the answer phone message because I get all these prank calls. So just be aware of that. But you know I'm not crazy, because I would have been, by now, I would have been sectioned under the Mental Health Act, right? That's what would have happened. I would have been locked up in a mental hospital. There's no police coming here. There's no doctors in white coats to lock me up coming here. I'm just speaking the truth. Now, it wasn't that long ago. I actually had I left an answer phone message on your mum's mobile, slagging her off, getting all angry at her that I don't get to see you. But I didn't realise at the time the full situation with these aliens in space controlling everyone with psychic powers, because I'm a bit unique. I'm special in that I'm not as easily they can't control me with these psychic powers at all. They can influence me. Like I said, they can make you feel a bit sad, miserable, and down in the dumps. And that's why you've got to try to keep happy, because they'll try to do that to you. Like they tried to do it to me to try to get me to kill myself. They'll try and do it with you. And like I said, I think they use psychic powers to influence you when you were very young, at 4 years old, to reject me. I think that's what happens. So don't let them get you down, right? You'll also see as well, so you see people in my YouTube comments slagging me off. That's either actual aliens writing that, because they control all our computer tech. All our computer tech, smartphones, computers, all invented by the Greys, these aliens. They're really smart. We're not smart enough to invent stuff like that. And they might actually be the ones posting the YouTube comments. They're either getting reptilians using psychic powers to bully them, to post comments on the YouTube channel saying I'm crazy and all of this. And they'll also do things like, there's these bike forums where people talk about mountain biking, and if you go on them about Dave Genby, so you put Dave Genby there, bike forum. I just put on Google bike forums, Dave Genby. You know, because I used to do mountain biking. Wasn't a very good mountain biker, very average. But I used to do a YouTube channel about mountain biking, and the people on them forums would just be slagging me off. Almost all the comments would be slagging me off, even though I was a very popular person in mountain biking. You know, I was a nice guy, wasn't a very good rider, very average, but I was a bit of a character, a bit of a personality in that sport. And yet, if you go on these forums, the comments you'll see are almost all negative. They're all just slagging me off. Again, because it's the alien trying to make me see these forums, make me feel bad, maybe kill myself. I'm not going to, obviously. And maybe also for you, Holly, to see these forums and then see, oh, look at all these people saying my dad's a crazy, an idiot, and slagging me off and all of that. Slagging Dave off and all of that, slagging my dad off. You know, they're trying to influence you, trying to get you to be influenced by seeing stuff like that, slagging me off. It's just that alien wants me to hate myself and kill myself, and wants you to just think I'm a crazy idiot. But again, I haven't been sectioned under the Mental Health Act. I haven't been locked up in mental hospital, so obviously I'm not crazy. I'm just speaking the truth, and it's that simple. Now, Holly, you might ask, why haven't the aliens killed me? Well, they actually have been trying to with psychic powers. I was getting a sore tongue. I think they were trying to give me cancer on my tongue with psychic powers. It didn't work. I think they were. So they have actually tried to kill me with psychic powers, believe it or not. And I think they've wanted other people to kill me. But everyone on this earth realises Without me, humanity's going nowhere. You know, I'm the guy there with free energy, you know, little motor spinning a bigger turbine makes free energy. Because all these people are so easily controlled by the alien, and I'm not. I'm the one hope for humanity to get some freedom, basically, from this control of the aliens. Because I'll do what's in the best interest of humanity, whereas the aliens won't. So they're struggling. These aliens are struggling to get people to kill me. Also, I'm quite a scary dude in terms of fighting. You know, I'm not the sort of guy your average guy would want to get into a fight with. So there is that as well. So they can control people, but not to the extent where they maybe come kill me. They try to kill me with psychic powers, that hasn't worked. And ultimately as well, with the aliens, I think part of them doesn't want me killed because I am actually the warrior caste of humanity. All these other people, they're really mostly designed for just being workers, just doing average worker jobs, normal jobs. Whereas I'm more a guy that's designed for doing war. In the Bible, David is described as God's man of war. And we need more warriors. To take New Earths, if you're going to get a New Earth, you need a lot of warriors that aren't scared of war and death and things like that. Death on a battlefield. So there's that. So the aliens are actually looking for a warrior in humanity. That's one of the reasons they're doing the Great Reset, where they send these oil prices sky high. They send these oil prices sky high, make things really tough for people, and then like the toughest will survive. And from that, the aliens are hoping to get their warrior, their badass dudes left that they can then use to take New Earths. But the aliens want a situation where they can still use psychic powers to control these warriors. And I'm trying to explain to the aliens, which they do realise I'm right, is that you can't have a badass psycho hard case warrior that's controlled by 4-foot greys with psychic powers. A warrior isn't controlled by anyone other than himself. All these, that's what makes me really different to all these other people. They're just controlled by the aliens. They're not set up for war. You can just be conquered by a 4-foot grey with psychic powers. You're not a badass, whereas I actually am. So that's the difference between me and everyone else. It makes you different as well, but obviously because you're a girl, say if you're a woman, women don't make as good soldiers as men. One, because they're not as physically strong. You've got to be able to carry weapons and armour and ammo and things like that. But women can make more soldiers by giving birth. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, women, they do have had women soldiers. Russia used to have women soldiers on the front line. So it does happen, but it's not that common. The other thing, so Ariana Rockefeller, right, Holly, so I'm talking to... So last week I said I don't think Ariana can break these psychic powers of the aliens, Ariana Rockefeller, because that's who I'm supposed to marry to then start becoming a powerful person, because she's from a very powerful family, the Rockefellers. I was saying last week I don't think she can break the psychic control of the aliens. Then the week before, whenever I made a video before, I was saying, oh no, I do think she needs to be able to break the psychic powers of the aliens. I'm still not fully figured out on this, which way it is. It might be the case that the only way I can meet Ariana is her break the psychic powers of the aliens. It might well be that. I'm not sure which way. So that's something I haven't fully figured out yet. So Holly, with Ariana Rockefeller, I don't know which way it is. I think though now this week, I've been weighing it up. Which way is it? Does she have to break the psychic powers, or does she still? Will she still be able to meet me without breaking the psychic powers? I'm now thinking this week that she has to break the psychic powers to meet me. Because the reason is that aliens, right, they have not treated humanity very well for a long time. And if they have a situation, they want a warrior out of humanity, remember, because they can't do fighting themselves. The Greys are useless at fighting, like physical fighting, good at psychic powers, but they're not good at physical fighting. So they need a warrior out of humanity, but they want a warrior that they can control with psychic powers. That's why they don't like me. I am the warrior for humanity, but they can't control me with psychic powers. So what happens then is, once I get to their Earth, because they have a planet as well, once I get to their Earth, I'm going to have my soldiers, they're going to have to get, these aliens are going to have to get punished quite severely because of how bad they've been to humanity. Now, with Ariana Rockefeller, I'm thinking now that this week I'm thinking she needs to break the psychic powers to be the Queen of Queens. Because that's what Ariana would be, the Queen of Queens. The head queen of all the other queens. She can't be in a situation where she's bossed around by a 4-foot grey alien like everyone else. I mean, it doesn't matter so much for all regular people, because regular people are just there to do worker jobs. If you're just an average Joe doing an average job, it doesn't matter that he is influenced by these psychic powers. They're not fully influenced. Like I say, they haven't been able to, the alien hasn't got the psychic powers, it seems, to convince someone to come to this house and kill me. And the reason for that, they haven't got full control of them. And I'm a really scary dude that you wouldn't want to get into a fight with, because I am Satan, I'm the devil. Most average guys aren't that great at fighting. They're here to do worker jobs. You know, that's how it is. So, and also humanity realises you kill me, you're in serious trouble then as a species, because you'll never get control of the aliens, these grey aliens. It's crazy. It sounds bonkers, Holly. I know it sounds such a crazy situation, but it's just how it is. So I think, as the Queen of Queens with Ariana Rockefeller, I think it makes more sense now this week that she does actually need to get control of her own mind and not be beat down by the psychic powers of aliens. She needs to become a badass. And that would be better for me, to actually be with someone, my wife, who isn't just been controlled by an alien to treat me like an idiot. I mean, the way I see it, the aliens, I mean, the way I'm seeing it this week, I mean, this has been hard for me to figure out, Holly. I'm still not fully sure, but this week, the way I'm looking at it, the alien doesn't want me to ever meet Ariana Rockefeller. The alien's trying to do everything to stop me ever meeting her, because the alien's so scared of its comeuppance. Because I think I've pretty much got anti-gravity figured out. Once you get anti-gravity, you're then beginning to get the beginnings of being able to do interstellar travel, believe it or not. That's what you need. You need anti-gravity. You can't do it with a rocket. Rocket just runs out of fuel. You need free energy and anti-gravity. And you know, once we get on their Earth, they'll be in a lot. They know they're going to be in a lot of trouble for how bad. See, so the alien didn't think there'd ever be anyone smart enough on this Earth to figure out anti-gravity, and they also thought that even if someone could, they'd always be able to control them with the psychic powers. But the thing is, the alien, the grey alien, has only ever really dealt with the worker caste of humanity, not the warrior caste. The warrior caste's a lot different. It's almost like a different subcategory of human, a different subspecies of human, different to all these other guys, worker drones. I call it, they're workers. You've got workers and warriors. It's like different. So yeah, that's that situation. Hopefully Ariana can come through for us. She needs to. I mean, because I'm in a stalemate situation at the minute where nothing's really happening. I'm just in a stalemate with the aliens, where I've got my money in crude oil. I'm waiting for the Great Reset that I wanted to avert. I wanted to stop happening, because it's going to be terrible for people. It's really going to be bad. Because the whole economy runs on oil. Food prices are going to go very high. It's going to be terrible for people. I want to avert it, but I'm in a stalemate situation now. And I think what needs to happen, Ariana needs to get in touch with me, Ariana Rockefeller, to begin changing things and making things good for people with free energy. You know, not use all these fossil fuels, use free energy that I've invented to run the whole economy. So that's the end of the video really for Holly. But as you can watch the next bit. Next we're going to talk about an invention that I've done called the sand bearing. Right, the sand bearing. That I've already tried to reinvent bearings, because what the Greys have done, taking the piss out of you, is they'll give you the ball bearing, and the balls in the bearing wear down when all you need is a thin layer of oil. You don't need the balls that are lubricated by oil in the bearing that over time wear down and then you get a lot of play on the bearing. Just have a thin layer of oil. The oil won't wear out. It'll last ages. So the Greys have they do it with loads of your tech. Take the piss out of you. Design stuff a bit shit because they're arseholes. They think it's funny. I don't. Anyway, the sand bearing is a specialist type of bearing that's for just use in outer space where it's minus 270 degrees Celsius. Talked about before on this channel about how cold it is in space, and that's how I know we never did the moon landings. If you're just in the orbit of the planet, if you're in the orbit of Earth, if you're just in the orbit of Earth, then it's fine. It's 10 degrees Celsius. But as soon as you get a certain distance away from the Earth and the protective magnetic field of the Earth, the magnetosphere, and you're in outer space, the temperature drops off a cliff, minus 270, and that's how I know the moon landings are fake. It's just the truth. And everyone knows I'm right, but they'll all say, Dave, you're crazy, because you're just controlled by aliens, because you're the worker caste. You're not the warrior caste like me. What we could use, though, in outer space, instead of using oil as the lubricant or lubricated ball bearings, we could use, instead of using oil, which is just going to freeze in outer space, it's too cold, minus 270, we could use sand. So it sounds crazy to put sand in a bearing. sounds insane, because normally with a regular bearing, the last thing you want getting in there is sand, because it causes damage, erosion to the bearing itself. But in space, I don't think there's much of an option, because oil's just going to freeze. Our bearings that are oils that the lowest temperature they can work, the most extreme cold temperature they can work is -70. Well, it's -270 in space. So they're just not going to cut it. What we could use though, like I say, between the two rings of the bearings, you've got the outer ring of the bearing here, the outer ring, you've got the inner ring, you've got the drive shaft. Just use sand. Instead of using oil, just use sand. And the granules of sand should roll over each other, providing movement. And as long as the sand is perfectly dry, there's no moisture in the sand, nothing's going to freeze. The sand can't freeze to itself and go solid. So at the moment, that's the only way I can think of doing a bearing that's going to work in outer space. Now, there is a thing called magnetic bearings, but I'm not an expert on how they work, and I don't know if they're any good or not. Maybe they'll be the answer for outer space. But there's an alternative answer, the sand bearing. So that's my invention that may well prove useful in outer space. So it's an invention for NASA, basically, which is where I'm supposed to be. I need to get down NASA doing anti-gravity and other inventions to get humanity next level. So it is. Right, so anyway, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.